If it's been a long day and life's getting you down, just sit with a puzzle and turn it around. Piece by piece, piece by piece puzzler.
Hi Puzzle fam, this is Richard, aka Piece by Piece Puzzler. It is officially New Year's Day of 2023, and I just wanted to say hello to you and also say a huge thank you to all of you for your support in the past year. It's meant so much to me that so many of you have decided to subscribe to the channel, have followed me on Instagram, and have been keeping up with all of my different puzzling activities throughout the year. So I wanted to start off the year by making a sort of semi-resolution to myself, which is to try to make this channel a little bit more regular in terms of the timing of the videos. So I'm starting a new series, and this is the first video of the series called The Week in Pieces. So basically what I'm going to try to do is make this sort of like a vlog format video where I just walk you through what I've done in the last week in terms of puzzles I put together. And also if there are any new puzzles that I've gotten, I will do sort of a mini haul and let you know what I'm working on, what is coming into the puzzle studio, and just check in with you and see how all of you are doing and what kind of puzzles you're working on as well. So without further ado, I will let you know about some of the puzzles I've done in the last week in the first segment, which is the puzzles I've done. So since Christmas was just a few days ago, I went down to Pennsylvania and I spent about a week with my parents. And actually while I was down there, I did more puzzling than I expected to do. For the first couple of days while I was down there, my mom was quarantining with COVID. So my dad and I worked on a masterpieces puzzle that he had wanted to put together, which was of a blue car and 3 generations of a family kind of working on the car, cleaning the car. So I will show you briefly an image of that puzzle and my dad and I posing with it after we finished it. And also my mom miraculously tested negative for COVID on Christmas Day, which was a huge relief. And after that, she and I worked on a puzzle called Christmas Cornucopia by Elena Essex together. It was this absolutely beautiful image of various Christmas baubles of all different types of, animals like peacocks and pets, and just all kinds of other cool items, a car, a few other things, mushroom. So we had a lot of fun putting that together as a pair. And I'll show you a picture of the puzzle and also of my mom and I posing with it after we finished it. And after I got back from visiting Pennsylvania with my parents, I did a really cute wooden puzzle that I found through Instagram. Another user named PuzzleEck1, I believe that's PuzzleEck1, posted this cool puzzle. Let me see if I can lift it up for you. And here it is. It's by Hartmaze, which is a very inexpensive brand. So I got this on Amazon for about $12. And it comes in this very nondescript blue box here, and there's not really much in here other than there's a little poster of the puzzle. So it's sort of like you would never think that this would be such a high quality puzzle, but I actually had a lot of fun putting it together. It's a bit unusual for a wooden puzzle in that it doesn't really have whimsy pieces. Usually most wooden puzzles that I've done have whimsy pieces that kind of match the theme of the image. This one doesn't, but it had a really interesting and kind of unique cut to it. And also I will say that for an inexpensive puzzle, I wasn't expecting the colors to be so vibrant, but they really were, and they really stood out to me as I was doing the puzzle. So I really, really liked doing that one. And the other puzzle that I did is for a couple of puzzle friends of mine from the Puzzle People of NYC. I ended up making a custom puzzle through Ravensburger, and I sent that to 2 of the OG puzzle people. And I put that one together as well, but since one of them, I don't know if they've seen it yet, I'm not going to include it in this video blog, but if you keep an eye over on my Instagram, I will be posting a picture of that as soon as all of the puzzle people have seen it, so I don't ruin the surprise. So those were all the puzzles that I did this week. It has not been a massive week of puzzling for me, considering it was the winter break, but I did have fun with all of the puzzles that I did, and it was more special to me because I got to do 2 of the puzzles with my parents, and, just partake in an activity that's not involving just staring at your screen, but working together kind of on a shared goal and kind of having that experience in the end that we got to say we put these two puzzles together. So without further ado, I'm going to move into the next segment of this vlog, which is to tell you which puzzles have come into the Puzzle Studio. And it turns out there are actually quite a few, and I will tell you a little bit about some of these puzzles and why they have joined my collection. So without further ado, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the puzzles that have joined my collection this week. Well, it's been a little bit more than a week since I gained some of these, but just, recent puzzles that have entered my collection since I'm just starting this series of videos. So without further ado, the first puzzle is one that my parents gave me for Christmas. It is this beautiful puzzle which is called Saucy, and this is by the brand Happy Place Puzzles. I've had my eye on this one for a while, mostly because I love this image and I just think it's going to be really fun to sort out all the different bottles of sauce. And I have a feeling this is not going to be the most difficult puzzle, but just a very satisfying one, and probably one I'm going to want to hang on to after I've done it because it feels like a very repeatable puzzle. So I'm really excited to be adding this to my collection. Thank you to my parents for this puzzle, and I will post this one definitely on my Instagram once I put it together because I'm really thinking this is going to look cool all put together. So that's the first one. So, second up is one of my colleagues who gave me this for Secret Santa. It's this absolutely beautiful Springbok puzzle, and it is all different Broadway show images. So if you can see there's a whole bunch on there. There's Wicked, Jersey Boys, Hamilton, Lion King, Rent, Matilda, West Side Story, Hairspray. I could go on and on. There's a lot of really cool shows in here. I have actually had my eye on this one on Amazon for a while, but I never went ahead and bought it. So I was really, really thrilled when my Secret Santa gave this to me, and I'm excited to put this one together. This one has pretty high priority on my list because I've really been wanting to do another Broadway puzzle. It's been a while since I did one, and this one I think is going to be very manageable since it's a collage and it's very colorful. I don't think this is going to be too difficult, but I think it's going to be really, really fun. So thank you to my Secret Santa from work for giving this to me. I'm really grateful. So next up is this puzzle, which is kind of an interesting one. It's called Movie Madness, and this is by a brand called Great American Puzzle Factory. So this is a vintage puzzle. This comes from, it says 1992 is the artwork, and the puzzle was 1993. So if you can see here, it's basically all different movie images, but it's sort of like a puzzle within a puzzle, which is what it says right here, in that you have to then kind of decipher where different movie titles are depicted in the image. So for example, there is a guy right here and he is singing under a rainfall, and that very obviously is Singing in the Rain. And there's a whole bunch of other images of movies that are hidden within the image, so you have to find them all in here. So it says there's 60 movie titles that are depicted in here. So my puzzle friends, Sasha and Danny, we went thrifting after one of our library meetups this past month, and this was the puzzle that we ended up finding in the thrift store. So I'm really excited to do this one. I have a feeling once I do this, I'm going to pass this on to other puzzlers to do because it's a fun one. But I'm really looking forward to doing this one, hoping I can do this early in this year. Alrighty. So next up is this really cool La Puz puzzle, and this is called Oops. And I've had my eye on this one also for a while, and La Puz was very, very kind to have the Puzzle People of NYC to their puzzle studio in Brooklyn about 2 weeks ago, I'd say at this point. And while I was there, I asked, do you have the puzzle Oops? Because for a little while it had been out of stock on their website, and they did, so I bought it on the spot, and it's really cool. It has all of these like fake foods that look like food mishaps, and they're all like in this arrangement on this puzzle. I love it when they do that kind of puzzle. La Puz also has another one that's called Lights Up, I want to say. And it's an arrangement of different funky candles, like different candles that are kind of kitschy. And I've done that one. My friend Kayla lent that puzzle to me to do. And this one I'm really going to enjoy. The only thing that's a little bit tricky is this green up at the top, but it's not too much in terms of the area, so I don't think it's going to be impossible. So really looking forward to doing this one. I absolutely love La Puz. They have quickly become one of my favorite puzzle brands because they're kind of quirky, a little retro, and I love that the pieces have like a different colored backing. even though you're not really looking at the backs of most pieces most of the time, it just kind of adds a little something to the experience, I think. They have really cool irregular piece shapes. So for both of those reasons, I'm really into Little Puzz at the moment. So next up is a vintage puzzle. And I ended up getting this one right after Christmas. So I want to show this to you. The image is somewhat obscured by this ribbon here, but what it is a vintage Springbok puzzle, and it's an image of the play Romeo and Juliet, and the image is by an artist named Tanya Moisewicz. I hope I'm saying the name correctly, but one of the things that I'm focusing on this year is I've recently launched a website. So if you haven't been to my website yet, check it out at www.piecebypiecepuzzler.com. And part of what I have on the website is a blog where I can take a slightly deeper dive into some puzzles that I'm interested in sharing with you all. So either if it's a puzzle that kind of connects to everyday life, writing a little bit, expounding a bit on the puzzle, what it means to me, what it reveals about sort of the world around us, or as is the case with this puzzle, taking a deeper dive into sort of the history of the image, what is depicted in the puzzle, the history of the artist, and just taking a little time to, a puzzle's just a puzzle when you put it together, but if you want to take a slightly deeper dive into it, it can be a little bit more meaningful. So I just want to sort of do a bit of research into Tanya Moisewicz, who was a really legendary Canadian designer, both of theaters and for the theater. So she's designed stages for theaters, but she also has designed like costumes and sets for different productions, including a production of Romeo and Juliet, which inspired this puzzle. So as part of this deep dive into this puzzle, I ended up buying a copy of the puzzle, which the seller very kindly wrapped and put a nice card in with it. It was very nice to receive. And also, as part of my research into this particular puzzle, which relates to the Stratford Festival in Canada, I ended up finding these cool brochures about the Stratford Festival on eBay. This one is the program from 1960, which was the year that this production of Romeo and Juliet happened at Stratford Festival. So it has some costume designs, which I thought were kind of cool, and a little bit about the designer. And then this is about the building of Stratford, the theater there, which Tanya Moisewicz was quite involved in. So I'm also awaiting a few other items in the mail that are going to relate to this puzzle, a couple of postcards that I ordered that depict the stage and this production. So once I get those, I'm planning to do like a deep dive into that puzzle, and I'm going to post that on my website. So like I said, go to piecebypiecepuzzler.com, and if you're interested in signing up for these deep dives as I put them up, what I'm planning to do is start sending out a newsletter, possibly about 2 or 3 times a month. So if you're interested in receiving that, at the bottom of the website on any page, there's a link to sign up for the newsletter. If you put in your name and your email address, you'll be on that list. So as soon as I start sending out the newsletter posts, you will be receiving those. So for the time being, because my mailing list is quite small, I'm going to be posting them on the blog and putting on social media a link to view the post. But once I gain a certain number of subscribers, I haven't quite figured out what that number is, I'm going to start sending them out semi-regularly by email. And that'll just be one more way for me to keep in touch with you. And I promise this is not going to be promotional. It's not going to be advertising sales of things. At least initially, that's not my plan. But I am just hoping to give you puzzle content by email, which will link back to the blog post. So also you can unsubscribe at any time if you sign up and you're like, Richard, stop bothering me. So that's that. And on to the next puzzle. This one is also really cool. So this, I'm going to remove this sticker, which has my address and everything, is a puzzle from Art and Fable. And this brings me to a very important announcement / reminder, which is that Diane of Bizzle's Puzzles on Instagram at Bizzle's Puzzles and we're going to be co-hosting a puzzle along this month with Art and Fable. So I am going to open this up on camera and show you the puzzle that we're going to be doing as part of this puzzle along. And you are cordially invited to join in with us by purchasing another copy of this puzzle. So here we go. Here we go. It is the puzzle game night, and this is from Art and Fable Puzzle Company, and the art is by Bart Slip and Elvira Erico. I love their names. And if you can see here, I hope you can, it's a very, very detailed image of basically a group of people getting together and playing games and putting together puzzles, and there's all kinds of quirky characters in here. And this is a puzzle that's really near and dear to Art and Fable's heart, so they have asked Bizzle's Puzzles and I to run this puzzle along, and we are thrilled to be doing it. So all month long we're going to be doing this puzzle, and we're going to have a group chat going on Instagram, and also tomorrow, January 2nd, so that's Monday, if you are watching this video on Monday, we are going to be having an Instagram live at 8 p.m. So Bizzle's Puzzles and I are going to go live. So if you go on Instagram, should be right around 8 o'clock, you'll see the little live button. If you click in, you can watch us launching our puzzle along. And also the hashtag for this is going to be hashtag GameNightPuzzleAlong. So if you get a copy of this from Art and Fable, you can puzzle with us. If you message either Diane or I on Instagram, we can add you to the group chat for the puzzle along, and we're going to be sharing our puzzle pictures, our progress pics, having a chat about puzzles, especially Art and Fable puzzles, on Instagram, and just celebrating this amazing image and this amazing brand. If you haven't done an Art and Fable puzzle before, you are going to be so impressed by the piece quality. So I really look forward to doing this puzzle with you all. And without further ado, I will move on to the next group of puzzles. So I actually forgot one, which was from earlier on, which is that I bought this puzzle by Peach Puzzles. And this was a Christmas gift that I gave to myself. I can't actually show you the image on the puzzle because it's not really YouTube friendly, but it is a piece of LGBT art. And if you go to their website, it's peachpuzzles.com. You can see what their offerings are. But I absolutely love that this puzzle company is supporting LGBT artists and promoting their work. And the artists get a share of the profit of every puzzle. And the founder of Peach Puzzles was kind enough to send me a nice card for my purchase. And I really appreciate that. I love this personal touch when the puzzle company puts a little card in with it. It just goes to show that, you know, this is a puzzle community where people doing puzzles, and of course, you know, that's our main focus, but it's also about getting to know new people, getting to know new puzzle brands, trying different things, and I just love that Tyler took the extra step to put that in with the puzzle. So, the last main thing that I want to tell you about is that BART Games, which is a company that I was not familiar with before, reached out to me to send me this ginormous group of puzzles. So thank you so much to BART Games for sending these to me, and they asked me to try these out. So these were gifted to me, and I will be sharing them soon on my Instagram as I start completing them. So there's these puzzles here, and also this puzzle here. So I will just show each one of these to you individually. This one is an oval-shaped puzzle of animals. It's animals of the world, so it's kind of an atlas, and then it's also got the animals depicted on it. It's very cool. I think this is one of my favorite ones they sent me. Then there are these really cool smaller puzzles. I love these. The boxes that they come in kind of feel like they're the boxes for Apple products, like little computer products. They're just so cool. And this one is an image of Magritte. I love that one. And that one was 44 pieces, so just a little mini. This one is a Christmas image, Heavenly Grace, and that one is 37 pieces. This one is called Rudolph the Cute Deer, and that's also 36 pieces. And this one is called Cloud, and it's 49 pieces, and I really like this one. I think this might be my favorite of the small ones because it looks challenging, but not too challenging. They call it easy, but I think this one's going to be a little bit more difficult than the other smaller ones. So I'm really excited about these. I love small puzzles because they're great for taking them on a trip Or if you just want like a little puzzle snack, if it's late at night and you've got home from an event or something, you're still winding down, you want to do a puzzle, but you can't really dive into a 500 or 1,000 piece puzzle. So I'm really excited about these. Thank you to BART for these. And then also there's some larger puzzles. This one I'm probably going to save for next holiday. This is a Hanukkah puzzle. It's a really cool image. I love also that they put like a little wooden piece on the side of the packaging. So this one is really cool. I'm really glad also that the company has been inclusive and made a Hanukkah puzzle. I have several friends who are very specific about wanting puzzle companies to be more representative in their holiday puzzles. So points to BART Games for doing that. Also, there's this one. This is American football. If you can see that image there. Now, I am not a sports person at all, but I was thinking that the Super Bowl is coming up, and so I'm planning on doing this one in conjunction with the Super Bowl and posting it on my Instagram. So follow my Instagram at piecebypiecepuzzler, and you will hopefully be seeing this one within the next month or two, whenever the Super Bowl is, because I really don't know. And then this is probably the other one that I was most excited about that they sent me. It's a version of The Starry Night by Van Gogh, or Van Gogh, however you say it. But this one is kind of like they've done their own unique spin on the colors of the painting. So, you know, where some companies just kind of do their version of Starry Night, and it's Starry Night exactly as you're familiar with, and they just have a different piece cut. I really like that BART Games with their art puzzles have decided to give it a bit of a different spin, choose a slightly different color palette, change up a little bit of the artwork in a subtle way that's not like messing with the art, but it's just changing it and making it something a little different. I really think that's cool. So thank you again to BART Games for sending me this puzzle. I am really excited to do that one and all of the other ones that they sent me over the next, I would say, year or so, because some of them are holiday themed. And also, one last thing I wanted to mention is my partner Rick, he actually brought back this Rubik's Cube from visiting his mom. She had given it to him recently, and I was reading the book The Puzzler by A.J. Jacobs, which some of you may have seen on my holiday gift guide. And as part of that book, they talk about speed cubing and Rubik's Cubes. So I really wanted to try it for myself and see if I could learn how to solve the puzzle. And I found this video on Wired. I don't know if you've ever used that site, but if you go on YouTube and you search for solving a speed cube or a Rubik's Cube, you'll see on there a video from Wired where a guy teaches you how to do this cube. And it took me about, I want to say 3 or 4 hours to learn. And there are a lot of different algorithms and combinations you have to learn to get it together. But I finally have been able to solve the Rubik's Cube. I've done it probably 4 or 5 times now. I have like a written down copy of the algorithm that you can use to help solve it a couple of times. And it's just different situations that come up. You need a different algorithm to sort of sort your way out of it. So it's been kind of interesting actually to learn a different type of puzzle. This is not a jigsaw puzzle, but it is a puzzle in and of itself. And actually one of the things they teach you on this Wired video is that you should solve it not thinking of the cubes necessarily, but thinking of the faces and thinking how each piece, some of them have 3 faces, some have 2, and some have only 1. And thinking about how the different pieces move and where the different possibilities are for each piece. So oddly enough, even though this is not a jigsaw puzzle, it sort of relates back to the thinking behind jigsaw puzzles, which I think a lot of us as puzzlers, we're interested in the notion of jigsaw puzzles, but we may also be interested in other types of puzzles. It's kind of giving you a mental exercise, whether it's in cardboard form or in plastic form or in any other form, wooden form. So this is another thing I really had fun doing over this holiday break. So those are all the puzzles that I have added to my collection and the puzzles that I've been able to do in the past week. And like I said, I'm hoping to make this a regular series on my YouTube channel. So hopefully in about a week or so, I will be back to you with another video. I know I'm expecting at least 1 or 2 other exciting puzzles, hopefully this week. So hopefully I'll have something else to share with you. And this series will also be in addition to the other videos that I normally do, where I choose a particular puzzle or a theme and show you how the process goes of doing that puzzle. So I'm not going to be doing away with that format, but I want to be adding these videos as something where I can speak to you and have sort of minimal editing of the video so that I'm not spending many, many hours putting each video together, but so that I can keep connected to you and hear from you as to what puzzles you're doing, whether you're enjoying any of the puzzles that I have on this channel, and just, you know, keep up with all of you and all of your puzzling. I know there are a lot of YouTubers out there who are putting out puzzle content very, very frequently, and I would like to start to rival them at least a little bit more than I am now. So, without further ado, I would be really happy if you would let me know in the comments, are any of these puzzles that I posted here ones that you would like to do? Have you tried any of these puzzles and did you enjoy them? And also, I would be really grateful if you would click the subscribe button and click the bell so that you can be notified every time I put up a new video. And also, if you can hit the like button for this video, just to show YouTube that you enjoyed this video and that you're enjoying my content. So, without further ado, until next time, I wish you all Happy New Year and happy puzzling.
Piece by piece, piece by piece puzzler.